Hello and welcome to Wrestleopinionated. This is our weekly show all about the shows of AEW. We are your hosts. I am Morg. This is...
Fucking nothing this week, Matt Strange. This is...
Mongolian Emperor, Muir.
And our special guest returning. This is...
Zach, living the dream.
Or Young Lion.
Yeah.
Our very own...
Young Lion's on abuse as much as this poor lad is. He had to watch Dark.
So, yes.
It's the only reason he's here.
To save us from having to watch lots of wrestling, Zach has come to the rescue and watched Dark for us.
How did that go, Zach? Did you watch the right one?
Yes, I did twice, and also the wrong one twice. So
Lads.
yeah, that was cool. That was fun.
Fucking champ.
Watch a lot of wrestling.
That's all right. As long as you don't start reviewing the wrong one, because none of us have ever done that.
I'd never
Yeah.
done that, boys.
Only professionals here.
Yes.
Or something like that. What you all been up to this week? Anything exciting, Mr. Strange?
My iguana is either sick or gravid or something. It's really hard to tell with them. So I have not really slept more than like 5 hours a night for the last week. So that's why I've got fuck already. Yeah, rough week for me. Played Fights in Tight Spaces though on Steam. That's come out. That's good fun. You should spend £17 on it. What about you boys?
Fucking shill.
Did you get royalties for that?
It's a really good game.
Oh.
I don't get upset about sharing quality with the world. Yeah.
I've watched 6 hours of Dynamite and Dark. So yeah, that's what I've done with my week.
Welcome to our world. Wait till WrestleMania weekend and we get you in for the WrestleMania special. There's a lot of wrestling that weekend.
I'm quitting.
There's so much wrestling, it's longer than an Edge versus Randy match.
That is not true.
You might have an Edge versus Rand. That was still going on at the Royal Rumble, you do realise.
Please don't.
If they do it again, I'm just going to scream. I'm going to come on this podcast and scream for an hour. And that will be my review of WrestleMania.
So, this might be the first time you listen to our podcast, and as such, you would need to know we have a tier list, which is how we give our overall reviews, scores for our reviews of all the shows, and also for the individual matches on Dynamite. Although he is very, very tired, Mr. Strange will now explain the tier list.
Of course, I've written out an exciting and interesting one. Lol, no. Right, okay, just basic tier list. We work up in rankings through matches. We start with our lowest rank. That's a D rank match. A D rank match is a shitty match. There's no story. The wrestling's bad. Maybe it's clumsy. Maybe it's just a squash. You don't care for the match. It's a D rank match. Next step up is a C rank match. What we expect to be an average match. It's a good match. It's got good wrestling. It's got good story. Doesn't always need to have all the story as long as we know why it's happening. But, you know, average match, good feelings, C rank match. From there, we go up to a B. I've got the alphabet in the right order this week. Thank you.
Good work.
B is often referred to by us as match plus one. The wrestling is crisp and clean. There's story going in, hopefully story going out, but we can go with it. But everything in that ring is like, yeah, that was really fucking good. That's a B rank match. If you get that feeling in your heart, that's what we're after. Top of the week normally is the A rank match, our next rank up. A rank match has got everything. You've got to have story going in, preferably coming out, but we can deal with it. The wrestling's got to be great. I want to be sending pictures of this match in memes to my mates. I want to share some gifts. It's got to have everything. It's got to be really good. A rank match, best of the night. More on that later. Top of the tier is the S rank match. Super, Sugoi, special. S rank match has to have everything. I want my mind blown. I want spots that blow the paradigm. I want story going in and out, or a conclusion to a story, or a new story coming from it. I want to know why these people hate each other, and I want to see them beat the living piss out of each other with skill, style, and grace. And that's the top of the tree. So D, shitty. D, good. B, match plus one. A, amazing. And S, rare things which happen every now and then that you show your mates. Like Penta versus the Black Lotus Triad.
Hey!
Hey, it's back.
I thought we'd got that out of our system when we reviewed it. So, moving on. News this week. What we got?
Well, we've got a bunch. We've got our second show coming out on YouTube. Dark something or other, Dark Special, Dark Elite. I don't know. I didn't remember. And it's going to have the Big Show on it. Legally no longer known as the Big Show, now Paul White as a commentator. But he is also cleared to wrestle.
He really wants to wrestle Shaq, doesn't he?
I was listening to Jim Cornette shit on this earlier, and he's like, "Oh yeah, who can they put Big Show with? You know, it'll make everybody look stupid and small and awful. You know, he's a big guy. Wasn't his main feud with Rey Mysterio?
He's had great matches with Ray. He's had great matches with guys smaller than him.
Talking about his best feud was when he was monster truck pushing with Hulk Hogan on the top of the roof in WCW. Come on, boys.
To be fair, all of his best stuff was in WCW.
It's the Giant.
Yeah.
When he could do a moonsault.
I wouldn't take a moonsault from Big Show, and I don't blame anybody else for not taking it.
I can't believe people don't like mismatches. I love a little guy versus a big guy.
Yeah, you know, surely with my superior speed, I will win.
Exactly.
It's Jim Cornette, Zach. You know, you take
big meaty men slapping meat.
There's a certain level of a lot of injuries as well this week. Anna Jay injured. More on that later.
ACL, I believe.
Yeah.
Again,
Shoulder,
another one.
And ACL was
Brooke.
Yeah.
And Cody's still lightly injured as well, I believe. Doesn't he have that match with coming against that match with Shaq? That'll help him carry Shaq. Woo!
Oh no!
It's a Big Show will come down to cover him last minute.
I'm just going to go off on a slight side tangent for this for a second.
Okay.
This match which is coming, Shaq and Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet and Cody. So Cody's going to have to carry Shaq, who is approximately 4 times his size. And that man still has some fucking arms on him. And I know Red Velvet is a better wrestler than Jade Cargill. Okay, I don't have it in fact because we've not seen her wrestle. But I honestly believe Jade Cargill could just tear her in half and just like eat her. Look at the woman. She's a fucking Amazon. She is what superhero women in movies should look like.
And where are we going with this?
You know, I just wanted to say,
all these things we can see.
But the match is going to be awful.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, but Shaq.
But
Shaq.
He's going to use that dangerous finisher.
The dunk.
The black tornado.
The black toenail.
The black toenail.
Did you see that Perspex glass? He nearly broke it clean in half.
Mate, gosh.
If that had been shatterable, that would have been the best thing ever. And people were running screaming for their masks. The barriers are down. Right, yeah, that's my little side tangent out of the way.
Okay.
Other news. The casino game is out. If you want to play a tiny cash-in, money grab, casino-based game that has pictures of wrestlers in it, I assume. I'm particularly excited by that. And Tony Khan, as you've said, Morgan said, there's going to be more big names, which I know has filled Muir with joy.
We just need a few more wrestlers, boys. Just a few more. Like, if it was like Kagetsu being hired to train the women's division, then I'll accept it. But if it's just some more people just to wrestle, then it's a no from me, Doc.
I love every week seeing that AEW debut. That's my favourite.
It depends who. I hate seeing it, but it depends who's debuting. Because I'm pretty sure that Muir's going to shut up when Okada or Ibushi debuts, and there won't be any of this.
So will I, to be honest.
That's a worked angle, though. It's not them hiring Okada or Ibushi and going, they're going to be around forever. They're just there for that angle when they're going. It's
a
not
crossover universe.
It's not a more and more bloated universe that we're going to have of these wrestlers. And we'll see less and less of each of them because of it. I just like smaller wrestling promotions where you actually see the wrestler every week or, every 2 weeks.
Shitters for life.
Yeah.
To me,
build characters.
Yeah.
It does depend on how you do it, because some of these people come in, they've already got characters, and it does mean you don't get oversaturated with a few guys and run out of storylines. What I don't want to see,
That's what Dark's for.
I'd like to be seeing. That's what Dark should be for. Yeah, I'd like to be seeing people, if they're going to bring in new names, just cycling through people, give people some holiday time.
Did you ever get tired of anybody in Lucha Underground when they only had like 30 people at most?
They didn't give us chance to burn out on anyone because it was a shorter show every week. It wasn't.
They were fighting for godlike powers. There were fucking ninjas and lizard men and ghost people. How the fuck can you get bored of that?
I think the
Can
problem.
I pull you back to reality real quick? Because you're trying to compare Lucha Underground to Dark, and there's obviously not going to match up, guys. Come on, let's be real.
No, but that's what I was just meaning. Like, you know, if we get too many characters, it just gets a bit, you know, you just have to cycle through them so quickly.
Yeah, you get the other problem where your roster's too big. Moving on, I'm guessing you don't have a social media for us this week.
No. I can tell you about what iguana poo's like when they're not eating.
Nah, we're good, thanks.
Yeah, let's move on to the reviews. So this week we'll open, rather than put Zach on the spot very quickly, we will open with, as always, BTE, and then move on to the women's YouTube match. So BTE, Mr. Muir.
Oh God, was I meant to watch something this week? Right. So this starts off with the Good Bros, and their story of why they took so long to get out to the ring. So they got nervous because they're on TNT, because they're not used to being on live TV for some reason anymore, but they're not. So they had to go have a quick cum in the toilets to gather their nerves. And that's why they were too late to save them. And fucking Anderson with the lineup, just a little cum for the boys, fucking ruined me.
Jesus, they're just 12-year-olds. Giant, menacing 12-year-olds.
So yeah, that's how it started off. So I was happy. Then we had a huge bit with the Bucks' parents going out to see them, which was, you know, kind of sweet, them seeing, you know, all the stuff they're on and stuff like that, which was quite nice. Then we moved on to Kenny in the arcade, kicking everyone's ass on Street Fighter.
He's a massive nerd, love it.
Yeah.
I did like the Raptor did spend the whole time shouting, "You're supposed to be a heel now, Kenny!"
I'm just saying it. If he was a real gamer, he'd play Guilty Gear Rev X, but here we are.
He probably does, to be honest, but here we are. Then we moved on to Ali trying to poison Cutler, but then the blade stepped in by accident and saved him, which was a bit weird.
This is their gamey thing that I don't get, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had the private party, Cassidy becoming a VIP of the Hardy brand. Still don't care about this story, but
what?
You know.
It's sick. What are you on about? It's amazing. He got the sick chain. What are you saying?
Yeah, the chain was high quality. You're not wrong, Zach.
You showing here.
He's a made man. What are you saying? It's great.
He's a made man in the Hardy business. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Got big money. He's big money man.
He's just like Sammy the Bull. Just like Sammy the Bull.
And then we had the screw you Cornette angle of the Bucks giving Brandon a match on the show just because they're nepotistic, apparently. Where he was going to die versus Hager later on.
I mean, yeah, more on that later.
Then we moved on to the Dark Order, which was fucking ridiculous this week, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. They all think that Hangman's cool, and he is pretty. And then they just start screaming Hangman fucks for ages.
Oh, it's the Hangman fucks.
Dude,
Yep.
doesn't he? Doesn't he though?
Hangman does. I just love this angle that they're like these 14-year-old virgins that look up to that one cool kid that may have touched boob once in his life.
I
They
believe
just need one giant masculine man, no matter what they're doing.
That's
Please
so-
give us an icon.
So then Hangman comes in and starts cheering with them, cheering the Hangman
Because he
fucks
does.
with them.
He
Yeah.
does fuck, and he knows it.
So then he starts getting the phone numbers of them, and Five's phone number was just Five's continuously, which I fucking loved.
555 and we find out Uno doesn't have a number.
No, he doesn't have. Nor does 10. 10 doesn't have a mobile phone. He just read out the numbers for cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Then we moved on to them leaving afterwards because he was just going to get the rest of the numbers off the rest of them. And they just all started screaming meat and leaving because that's how they leave now. And then they bring up the line that you guys are the frog's pussy, which was brought up earlier by Silver.
Oh god, yeah. I've forgotten about the frog's pussy.
And then it moved on to, at the end, when everyone had left, Uno had said that he was proud of Five because he managed to help get Hangman back, which was quite a nice ending to the thing.
I also like the fact that they did the bit with Hangman where they were like, because you thought that he was going to walk in and they'd be chanting "fuck Hangman," and he'd misunderstand. He didn't. He knew exactly what they were talking about. And then they did the whole, look, I know we came on a bit strong. Can we just be friends? And it's just like,
It was cute.
yeah,
It was good.
It was hard.
More of that later.
yeah.
Storyline in wrestling. Man makes friend with cult.
They're not a cult.
The cult wants to be friends with him because they think he's
True.
cool.
It's cool. I want to be friends with Hangman.
Anyway, yeah. Dark was solid. Not Darker. BT
TA.
was solid this week, yeah.
God, we're all
don't-
on form this week.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think very saved by the Dark Order as always, but I think the Dark Order bit was so good. I'm going to give it a B. I know we thoroughly enjoyed it. What do you guys think?
I'm
I
so
don't know.
biased. I'm so
I'm
biased.
deviating all rankings to everybody else. Go on, be biased.
I'm so biased towards the Dark Order and the Hangman plotline because everything I tune in for every week, and so I have to give it an A.
I mean, you tune into fucking Raw to watch the Fiend storyline, so, you know, I know that you can tune into crap just to watch one storyline. So
True.
fair play to you.
Why is
No, I
Alexa
think it-
Bliss Papa Shango cursed Randy Orton?
That's for a different show!
Sorry. Back to ranking PTE.
Sammy in a belt and nothing else. That's all I have to say. It's an A.
It was
Oh,
good.
Sammy in a
Oh,
belt,
yeah.
which was
I forgot that he was dressed like Shawn Michaels.
yes,
At the end.
Shawn Michaels from his Playgirl centerfold.
Yes, the girly magazine.
Yeah, I love it.
It's gone for. I'm going to go with Morg because Morg's normally the most positive of us, so I'm going to give it a B.
I think it's
Yeah.
a B too, to be fair.
I've given it an A. Screw you guys.
The enthusiasm
Perfect.
of youth.
Yeah.
We'll beat it out of him slowly. We'll make
Already
him watch
begun.
Edge versus
6
Randy
hours of
Orton.
dark.
It's going to get beat out of you quite soon. So moving
I'm
on.
gonna lose that optimism.
So moving on from that, we had the next part of the women's tournament. I personally overall thought this was really good. Mr. Muir, I believe you've got the notes for this one.
Sure, why not?
He's just left.
I've
Check
just
that.
left, boys. I'm gone.
Strange hasn't done any of his jobs. God damn it.
Right, so this starts off with Ty Conte versus Nyla Rose. This match was a match. I didn't enjoy this, but I've been told other people did. I felt like it was, I don't know. I just like to see wrestlers actually like they're taking damage. But yeah, it was a solid enough match. And Nyla nearly killed poor Ty Conte by throwing her onto the stairs with like all her force. And then the beast bomb for the end.
They replayed it so much, and every time I win. So every
Yeah.
time I see Nyla fall directly onto Ty on those black steps, I
Yeah.
cry. I'm like, how does she have any ribs left?
She's just
Like,
dead,
ugh.
boys.
I never
I honestly, if she rolled back into the ring, I didn't think she'd be able to do that. I was like, geez.
see. I'm never worried when I watch Nyla land a move on someone, as I am if I watch Nia Jax do it.
I mean, that's a bit different. That's like comparing Timmy Mallet's mallet to a sledgehammer. Isn't it?
But do you know what I mean? They both do big, powerful.
Yeah.
And Nyla, I always think, is absolutely safe. I really enjoyed this match, and I know I enjoyed all the matches in this women's tournament so far. There's one minor exception, but and we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I've really enjoyed all of them.
So yeah, I thought it was solid enough. I would give this match like a solid C. It's like nothing that you want to write home about, but it gets the match done. Anybody else want to add anything to this match?
Man, I've got nothing. I'm just going to get excited when Rio and Yucca come up because I fucking love those two like nothing on earth.
I love Conti's style so much that obviously I'm upset to not see her advance. But that's
Judo
what it is.
style, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Nyla's got
I'm a Everyday fanboy.
backstory. Nyla's got backstory with Rio and with Britt, so it makes more sense.
Yeah, we can see where they're going with it, but I wanted to see a bit more.
Think of it as a high school
Conti.
tournament arc in an anime. That's how I've been looking at it.
But we've already seen Nyla challenge for the belts. We don't need to see that arc again.
Fucking putting down my girl Yucca, who's winning this thing. How dare you?
Well, we'll see.
I know.
Right. Yeah. So then we move on to Yucca versus Amy, which I think was the best match of this week. I don't know if anybody else would disagree with that. Amy's complete heel on this one and brings out her two students to actually interfere in this match.
Oh yeah, we had some proper Stardom great shenanigans, didn't we?
Yes, mate.
I love Emmy's sideways crossbody into the corner. As I said, I don't have any notes, but I do have details in my head, and I always think she hits that move really well. And you can tell she's the veteran of their promotion, but where she trains everybody.
Yes, mate. It was a solid match. This was really good, and Yucca basically pulls out the win out of nowhere after being crushed for the entire match, basically. And
genuinely looks in pain.
Yeah,
looks like she's crying the whole way through.
Every time she gets knocked to the outside, both of Amy's assistants were just kicking the crap out of her. It was really well done. And at the end, they went for the beatdown, and Shida came out in her Yakuza 5 final
Yakuza
boss. Yeah,
remastered boss from Yakuza 5, just so you guys know.
So I don't know where this is going, but I like that Shida came out for the save, and I thought this was a really good match. I gave this a solid B because I really enjoyed it for the storytelling. Anyone else?
It's probably leading into that multi-woman tag match we've got tonight, I believe. I think Shida's in that on the face side. So
she is indeed.
Helping us establish who's who. Like, people don't really know if Yuka's a face. She's fought a heel now, you know.
She's a magic girl.
I think Yucca is very much comes across as a face. To me.
Only smiles. She does airplane wings in the middle of the room. Like, you know she's a face.
Yeah.
You need to see more of her. She's got a wanker side to her.
A wanker side to herself. She will just attack someone when they're down and shit like that. So, you know.
Do drunken kung fu stances. Yep. I love it.
I don't know. It doesn't sound very magical to me.
So then we move on to the other match of the Japanese semi-finals, which was Aja Kong versus Rio.
I can actually talk about this one if you want, because I remember it. Because we were all a bit worried that Aja Kong was going to be the one to go through, and obviously they can't hurt Aja Kong. She's their fucking Undertaker.
And the way they took her out was great.
Yeah, I said I don't remember a lot of the match because I've not slept.
Yeah,
I love Rio, and her personality comes across really well. She reminds me of my little sister in a way.
Yes.
You haven't seen Rach. I don't mean to seem homophobic or demeaning of women, but my sister is a proper chunky little bull dyke, and she's gay as shit, and she looks quite a bit like Rio, just with dreadlocks as opposed to crazy hair. A little bit of my backstory here, but yeah, Aja Kong brought out her bin. I don't think it's a bin. That's a long-lasting prop of hers.
Yes,
I was confused by that.
It's a thing. It's a bit like Steve Blackman coming out with a kendo stick and stuff. I quite enjoyed they tossed the bin to Shida then slammed their head in to get a good heel off at Shida.
It was great.
And I think the way of getting the win, really good way of protecting Aja and looking cool. I've literally just got the end of it in my mind, so I'll pass it back to you, boys.
The best bit of that match by far is the bit where Rhea has Aja in the corner, is slapping her a bit, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm winning." Goes into the middle of the ring, does this weird yeah, and then does like this fake invisible rope bit for like a good 5 minutes
The
for no
Ultimate
particular
Warrior
reason.
bit, yeah.
And then Ash is in the corner, just like, I'm gonna beat you down now. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm
And
gonna
then just
hurt
comes
you.
up from behind and just like slaps a couple of. And then she tries to pick Asher up, and Asher smiles and sort of goes back to chewing her gum, like, "Yeah, you're not gonna pick me up. Come on."
Look
Great
at me.
character.
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the match.
Yeah,
But who's
Too.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed both these matches. This one had a lot of fun. I liked the ending. It was different, and like you say, it was really good way of protecting Aja Kong, but making Rio look really clever.
Yeah.
So she looked. It was proper old school wrestling, you know, when they tap the side of their head, the heels do, because I'm clever. I'm clever.
Yeah.
I don't think Rio came across as the heel necessarily. She just came across as, oh my god, a face who's actually intelligent.
It's a rare
No.
I love AEW for that. Anyway, yes, sorry, moving on.
So it leaves Yucca versus Rio for the final, which should be a real good match.
Yeah.
And then we move on to Britt Baker versus what's her name? I forgot her name. Maddie Mikowski.
Oh, no, Maddie Renkowski. Sorry, wrong one.
Renkowski, that's it. Yeah, which is an awkward match, but completely acceptable because they had like 5 minutes to put it together, and I don't think they've wrestled each other before.
Because obviously Anna Jay was injured, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had we had Anna Jay, this probably would have been. So this was the. I wouldn't rate this match a D.
No,
it was a C. It was a good match, and especially considering it. And I think if they'd had Anna Jay, we'd have just had B's across the board, C's and B's across the board, but high C's. It was an okay match. Just it got Britt Baker's character over more than anything else for me. What did you guys think?
Yeah, there's like 20.
I think I'll summarize. I think I can summarize this best as I have no notes and I'm not exactly with it, but I can remember bits of every other match. I can remember the Death Valley driver onto the walkway. I can remember Tay Conti strikes. I can remember Yucca crossbody slam beating on the outside. I can remember bin spots and leg spots for countouts. I can't remember anything about this match. Not a thing.
I watched it this morning. All I can remember was that Maddie just had the shit kicked out of her the whole match. She didn't like get a single thing in.
She got 20 seconds. It was outside of the ring before the match started, and it was on Rebel, not even on Britt Baker. Literally, I was like, "Oh god!" And then she just ate the mat for a good 7 minutes, and got her face drawn on because she's Thunder Rosa's student or is trained by her or something of the like.
Yeah, she's part of her what they called. What's a wrestling company called? But she's one of her stars that she's training up at the moment.
So she didn't get put across or put over in any way, and got a hand in her mouth. So that was cool. Haha.
So,
I guess the doctor will see you now.
Overall, what do we think? I think it was a B. I really enjoyed this tournament. So I'm putting my flag in the ground for a B.
Another man. I'm not voting. I can't remember anything.
I'm going to give it a high C for me, to be honest. I think, unfortunate circumstances have caused it, but still I'm going to rank it on the match I watch. So I think it's a high C overall.
So, Zach, you've got the casting vote.
I can only give it a C because there weren't any moments, even in the match that I consider a B. Like, I wouldn't say there were like amazing moments of "oh my god" to push it up at all. So yeah, overall I'll give it a C. But I am hoping in the next round that it sort of blows my mind because I feel like it can.
Even Rio versus Yucca.
Yeah.
Rio versus Yucca should be good.
They have to save themselves. You can't do a lot of the really high impact stuff in your warm up matches, basically, if you're going to get annihilated at the end. A C, but a good
Yeah.
C. A
Yeah,
mostly positive C.
Yeah, go watch this for sure. Like, definitely go watch this.
So, now it is that time that poor Zach gets put on the spot, and he is going to speed through dark.
Just say
How
good
fast
or
am I gonna do
bad.
this? No, I can talk about this stuff. So we start off with, let's double check I'm reading the right stuff and you can agree or disagree with me. So Pentagon versus Lee Johnson.
Oh, I'm excited.
This match is the first match, and I think is the weakest match I've seen any AEW like event happen with to begin with at all. Like, it was pointless and didn't really show anything other than Johnson needs to get some more wins on his card because they matter apparently. So he comes out. Serpentico doesn't do any of the cool like high flippy stuff that I know he can do, and then Johnson hits him in the face a couple of times and pins him, sort of thing. So that was boring. So that's I gave that a D. So that was pretty crap. Then we moved on to whether I think they should have started, which was Eddie Kingston, who obviously is a fan favorite.
Oh yeah, I've seen this match.
Yeah,
you told me to watch it.
Yeah, versus JD Drake, who is first time here at AEW.
Lad of the street.
Mate, I legitimately think that Eddie, they went to Eddie, they went, you can fight anyone you want on Dark.
Bring in your lad, yeah.
Yeah, go. And he went, oh God, I've got no one who I can call out. I'll just go down to the local dive bar downtown. And he found
a man I can fight.
He just threw chairs at people until he found someone he responded well, and then dragged him into the ring. And for someone who I don't know, and for someone who looks like he's just a bloke off the street, this was a fantastic match. This is a proper brawl. I loved every moment of this match. And the JD Drake guy, like he has the basics of wrestling down well. Like he can sell well, he can throw well. It all went down. Obviously, Eddie wins. It's Eddie. And this guy is a guy he's found on the street. But overall, I'd give this a very high C, which is all you can expect from, like a dark match with
I'm sorry, Zach, I forgot I watched this because you were recommending it.
I'm going to write down your recommends for you, Zach. I'm going to do your list for you as you go. That's the first one.
Okay, and then we move on to legit Layla versus Brooke, in which we have to say Brooke does get injured, but I don't see where it happens because it was from this match, wasn't it?
It was from this match, yes.
But I didn't see it in the match, which I guess is a good and a bad thing because she got injured, but also we didn't see any horrific things happening in this match. Yeah. Brooke's really green. Layla isn't an over-experienced wrestler. It was a good standard win for Layla. She did Layla things, was awkward onto her opponent because she's so small and squat, and she powered through, did some power moves. It was sick. Is again a C. Nothing special. Wasn't disappointed. Knew what I was going to get. It happened. Yay, Layla.
Layla.
I hope yeah.
Yayla.
Yeah. Then we move on to who do we have next? We had it's another squash match because they're all squash matches this week. I hate to break that to you. Angel Fashion and VSK versus someone who I'd never seen before. Was it Juras? What was his name? It was another AEW debut, I think.
Cool. Job.
Yeah, wait, yeah. So I can't even with notes. I couldn't tell you anything about this match, and I gave it a D. It was boring and a dark match. And again, I think it was VSK and Angel Fashion who won this one.
Oh my God, VSK getting his first win.
You're still angry about being in Massage Envy.
Yeah. Oh no, hang on. No, I'm talking absolute rubbish, guys. I'm sorry. It was Jurassic Express. Sorry, I've just mixed this up. And obviously there was now I remember what happened. Angry dinosaur because he got his horns chopped off and now he's back and
he grew them back instantly and nothing.
Yeah, he's living the high life. I just remember this match. But it was a stomp. Did some flippy like Jungle Boy stuff and then it was squashed and it was over. Again, a D. Very boring. Yeah. Hated it. Then we had JJ Garrett versus QT because QT also needed to get a win this week because they matter and he needs it on his card.
He's going to be big on Dark too. He's going to be big on Dark too, mate. You wait. He looks like Josh.
QT's hair's nearly back, so he's powered up with his hair just like Samson. Garrett has a mullet, and as we know, there's too many mullets here at AEW. So QT came
Need
out.
more mullets.
QT came out, did some more power moves. He's a big, strong man. Threw him on the mat and then pinned him, and that happened.
Cool.
And again, a D, very boring. Hated it. But what can you expect? Oh, then we had a match that I actually was really looking forward to, which was Max Caster versus Marco Stunt. Because who's going to win?
Was it?
It had a perfect intro. Of course, the Acclaimed came out. Basically, just said, "We hate you, Marco," and then booed.
Wait, lads.
Just booed it. Just booed at him. Love that. Just boo. Yeah, Marco got thrown around like the small man child that he is. And then Max did that weird licky hand thing when he pinned him. And I would love to know if that will ever get explained, and if we can ever hear from that.
Licky hand thing?
Yeah, when he pins them, he grabs their hand and just puts it in and around his mouth.
Oh yeah. I know
I would love for that to be explained.
Why does he do this thing?
I might write into AEW actually. Like, I would love to know,
What,
especially
a letter?
during. Yeah, maybe, or maybe on a postcard or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
during.
Tweet him. Use the Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. Just during the pandemic, is it okay for you to be looking hands? That's all I have to ask.
It's a little problematic, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have given this a D because I hate squash matches, and that's what it was.
It's the Acclaimed, so it's a C.
But it's the Acclaimed, and they came out with a rap and booed him, and then he licked his hand at the end, and for some reason I liked that. I had to give it a C.
Right, okay.
And then we moved on to Reynolds and Silver, who another one of my favorites, and they were versus Louis Valley and Chris Peaks. Is that his name? I think so. They came out and I was like, oh, who are these people? I didn't really recognize the name straight off. Then I recognized their faces and I realized we're in for a good match because it was the Attack of the Goblin people. Everyone in this match is a little goblin.
Louis Valley.
If they everyone was a little goblin, and we had little goblin wrestling. And I can't think of anything more entertaining than 4 green people coming out who are 3 foot nothing with muscles and ready to chew each other's faces off. And that's what we got. That's what we got. And what I love about most of the Dark Order as well is like they sell well, and they give the people who are obviously there to be jobbed a good chance to get their shots in.
They always do, yeah.
Yeah, we had some good slams on the mat. There wasn't anything very like high spotted or anything, but that was okay because they're not very high to begin with. They're like 3 foot off the floor. I loved it. I give this a high C. Obviously, Silver and Reynolds won because they're so over. Yeah, I love that. Give it a C.
So are we now setting up our faction of goblins to go up against our faction of dwarves? Dwarves as in Lord of the Rings style dwarves. Yeah.
We can't put Silver. We can't put Silver in another stable. He's in the Dwarven Kingdom and the Wholesome Chads. He can't be in another stable.
And we can't get the leader of the goblins, so there's no fucking point.
More on that later. Goblin Twink, Moyu Iwatani.
Oh, right, that's not who I was thinking of for the Goblin King. I was thinking Ortiz.
Oh, he's good, but Moyu is renowned as being a goblin on the internet.
She's made of those cuddly toys that always survive a plane crash. I don't know how
Yes.
But that's our goblin. That's our Goblin Queen to go up against Layla Hirsch.
We can discuss this. Oh, I'm sure you will.
This sounds like a discussion.
There's so much more. Then we got Kip versus Fuego, and in this match, all I got from Kip in this match was B-Tech Joey Janela. Like, if you wanted like the alcoholic free version of Joey Janela, you've got Kip. That's what he's about. He came out with his bad boy pants on, wearing his crap sewn. Yeah, I just don't. It's not over with me. I don't get him.
That's cruel.
There were no high spots in this match, and I'll keep saying that because I love flippy boys, and I get upset whenever I don't see the things I want to see. Screw your opinions.
Good lad.
You say that, but he loved Shingo versus Cobb.
Yeah, I like seeing Frege get stuff off, but Kip said no. He came out with Bugs Bunny and no, you're not going to do any of your moves. It's all about me. The Kip show. Yeah, another squash match you can expect from Friego. I can't wait for him to get.
Did we get a tornado DDT?
Not today. Not ever. I'm looking forward to Dave Frieger gets a match where he gets to win, but it wasn't this one. Kip didn't really let him have any offensive at all. I nearly cried. I was disheartened, and I want to say this to Frieger if you're listening. I love you. Keep trying, champ. You'll get there in the end.
Nick Jackson listens. He'll tell him.
Yeah. Nick Jackson will pass the message on.
Yeah.
So that was another squash match that I hate. So that was a D. I wish that scorecards didn't matter for whatever reason that they do.
Mate, don't we all?
Varsity Blondes versus the captain and his other veteran mate.
God, they got to get
infantry.
their win in, don't they?
I love the Varsity Blondes. The captain's over with me because OC said so, and I can only do whatever he says because I'm a sheeple.
Good work.
It was a wrestling match. Everything was done well within the match. But there was again nothing that I could write home about. Nothing I was like, wow, that was crazy. It was a match. The blonde people beat the veterans.
That's
GG,
good.
well played, no re. So that was also a D from me. Then we move on. Then we move on to the greatest part of Dark, in my opinion, which was Ryan Nemeth versus Aaron Solo. And you'd be like, Zach, why
Why
that?
did you like this match?
Why do you like that match? Well, first off, I have to tell you that the Hollywood hunk is absolutely fantastic to begin with. A hunk of a man.
What?
It's by name and
Zolf
picture.
Diggler.
Yes. Yes. He's I can't like he's one of the perfect heels. He doesn't need to be good at wrestling. He doesn't need to win matches. He comes out and he's already won in my heart. Okay. Give me a little gyration of the hips. Tell the crowd that you're amazing. Ignore them booing you and say that you love them too. That's all I need. Okay. But he comes out, he fights Solo. During the fight, towards the end, like it's just a normal wrestling match. Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Benoni come out, another two fantastic heel wrestlers who are both beautiful men.
They are very pretty men.
Yeah, they come out, they congratulate him, and then they beat up Solo some more. And it seems to me that Pretty Peter Avalon has got his cards together, got all of his
The League of Beautiful Men.
and he's bringing together the League of Beautiful Men. And I can't think of anything better than a load of people who think they're ridiculously good looking, who are questionable at best, coming out every week on Dark and just beating the crap out of people. But then we get the B tier Nightmare people come out, and they're ready to kick off at these people for beating up Aaron Solo. So now I can see a feud and a storyline developing where we get the big Benoni carrying PPA and the Hunk through matches. Like they always do, which we can come on to later because there is in fact a PPA.
Who beat up Aaron Solo? He's only just broken up with Bailey. That's not fair. Leave him alone.
He got stamped on. He got kicked out the ring. It's beautiful. Benoni also is fantastic, like Carney Adonis, and I think he needs more screen time. 100%.
Needs to work on his
him in
kicks.
Snatch. He would look great.
They're the perfect heels. Then we moved on. I give that a very high C, maybe
Very
a B.
high A.
Very. You're right. You know what? You're right. It's an S. No, it was a high C B. I can appreciate that not everyone would enjoy this as much as I have, but
Yeah.
I can't wait for the developing storyline of this, and maybe even more beautiful blonde mustached men to join in the future.
Oh man.
If they don't come out to Marilyn Manson's Beautiful People as their intro music, I'm done with the whole faction.
Probably shouldn't use Marilyn Manson in light of recent events. Probably anyone else but Marilyn Manson. That's what I have to say on that front.
Okay.
Bad choice. We move on to Ivelisse and Diamante, who if you know me, I hate them. I think they're boring.
How can you hate Diamante?
I just think they're really boring. I don't know what their gimmick is. Is it that they're Latino? Because that's overplayed and I think racist. That's not cool. That can't be your whole stereotype. That stereotype can't be your whole personality. I don't get it. I don't get them. I don't understand. Maybe it's over my head. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
LAX thing. Look up LAX.
Yeah.
You'll
He doesn't
learn.
care, boys. He doesn't care.
I literally don't care about them, and they're against Miranda Eliza and Renee Michelle. My only notes on this match, and this is how you can tell how bad this match was, in my opinion, was there are too many redhead women within the AEW franchise, and we need to get rid of some of them.
Cool.
Just like the mullet, there are too many mullets in the men's wrestling. So
Could we trade like 3 red-headed women for Utami?
Gets it.
No,
I think so.
Utami, she's redhead
I
from
think
Stardom.
that's a great deal because they don't really have redheads over in Japan. I think that's a fantastic idea. We should be ringing the management up now and suggesting this.
Get Roshi on the call, yeah.
Yeah, just get him on the line, sort it out.
Okay, I'll do it.
It was a wrestling match, a D to a C. I'd give it a D. I understand that everyone else would also probably just give it a C. Nothing interesting happening. I don't know. They're cool. They're bad guys. They have
the Abyss staring back yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Just
so
move on, Zach.
Yeah.
I just really hate them. So then we go on to Top Flight versus Tony Vega and Steven Stetson. Top Flight are being buried, I believe, because they could be replaced with any other tag team in AEW. Unfortunately, they're too young. I'd love to see them develop more of a character, but they haven't. They didn't do it in this fight. But we did have B-Tech Adam Page in this.
Mate, I love that name. That made me
Zach's
pissed.
been talking about this all week, and
Yeah.
I'm still not seeing
B-Tech
Adam
Adam
Page.
B-Tech Adam Page. Imagine coming to AEW, knowing that Adam Page is one of the best gimmicks, like cowboy.
Wrestlers in the division,
Yeah,
and he's a cowboy.
And he's a cowboy. And he's a cowboy. And you're like, I could probably do that. And you come out with your pot belly, your little trunks on, and your cowboy hat. And you're like, yeah, I can do this. I got this. He didn't do a lot either. I guess he's a bit of a brawler. Top Flight were like, we're Top Flight, so we'll do some flippy stuff, jump around, have some fun. It just needed more personality. I need more personality from everyone in that ring. Other than the fact you came out with a cowboy hat on, and you've got like this sort of old style Texan type of like text on the back of your ass. It didn't come across very well at all. Another D from me. Really didn't enjoy Dark this week. And that's not because I had to watch it twice and also watch twice on the other Dark that was from the week before.
Stop, you're already dead.
It was nothing to do with that, I promise. Then we had a great match in the form of Bear Country and Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela versus Mbadu.
Yep.
Levi Shapiro, Dana Dragon, and Aaron Fry, I think his name was.
Some people.
Some other people. But what happened was they all got destroyed by what are basically Bear Country and then Sonny Kiss doing some twerking on them, which was perfect. I love Sonny Kiss, by the way. I think it's fantastic. Bear Country are a tag team that I need to see more of. Like, I need to see more of. Every time they're out on the
machinery we've got at home, they're great.
They come out every week throwing themselves on people, and like it's great. I love them. I love
the
them.
Big one could do a moonsault. Look at him, and a senton holding another man.
They're not afraid to get high. Like they really aren't either. I love them. Any match that they're in, I'm hoping is going to be a great match, and I haven't been proved otherwise so far. Yeah, it was another squash match, but I actually enjoyed this one, so I have to give it a C. Joey Janela was just being Joey. He's a bad boy. He doesn't even need to wrestle. If he's just around doing dickhead things, then I'm happy. So yeah, I give that.
Like how Zach's like on board with a lot of gimmicks that we're not necessarily. Like, I'm not shit talking.
No, it's good.
Control, I love them, but we weren't all. We've had back and forth on Joey and Sonny, and Zach's like, no, these ones are great. It's nice to see the newer wrestling fans. Yeah.
Then we moved on to Ryzen, who I love. He's great.
I love Ryzen.
And Baron Black, don't know why they're together. It is what it is. Then they were against the pretty Peter Avalon, who I said was coming out there. Here he is, with Cesar Bononi again. And in this match, what happened was pretty Peter Avalon came out and got the crap kicked out of him whenever he was in the ring. By the Ryzen or Baron Black, whoever was in, they were just kicking the crap out of him. He'd get a tag off to Bononi. Benoni was like, fine, I got this. Then PPA on the outside of the ring were like, yeah, we're so sick. I'm amazing. Give it a little bicep
He's
curl.
so
Look at
good.
Benoni. Benoni carried so hard, he literally had to throw Avalon at people in order for Avalon to get the damage across, which I thought was fucking fantastic. They ended up winning. PPA, Cesar Benoni, for King and Queen of AEW every day of the week. I gave this a high C.
Oh.
I loved it. Then we had Kylie King, who I'm not a fan of, versus Tessa Price, who has not been a great wrestler
Fisher
as
Price.
far as the
Surprise.
But boys, listen to this. Listen to this.
I don't believe you.
No. Wait. Okay. So first off, I have to say that Tessa Price does end up losing this match. What a shock and horror. Okay, but something changed in this ring today with Tessa Price.
They have a match.
They did, but I don't even care about the wrestling. This might be a running theme with me. Tessa Price came out with a whole different attitude. She came out angry.
Yep.
She came out a little bit heely. She had more of a character completely in this match, and it meant that I was paying more attention to her than I was Kylie. And she was getting angry with the ref. She was giving a bit of a bad girl smirk. She gave everything like grunting, growling, and you know what? It came across very well, in my opinion. And I'd love to see more evil, bad guy Tessa Price in the future.
God, it's so tiring that, sometimes it's just like, just give us a little bit of character. That's all we need.
How much of this is left, Zach? Jesus.
Yeah.
We've got one more match after this. But also, I want Kylie came out with makeup on for no apparent reason, just face paint. Cool. Next. Seidel versus the Seidel brothers versus SCU and TH2.
Did he use the quiver?
I figured out that it's not a quiver.
What is it?
What is it?
It's a yoga mat.
Oh!
And they come out and they do use it. He uses the yoga mat. It's the yoga mat. Of course it is. They're hippies. Okay, figured it out. So we all know
hippies.
Yeah, we all know that the SCU have to break up if they ever lose a match, and now they are against two other tag teams. What if the other tag team pins the other tag team in the match? The SCU split up? Let's find out. The Seidel brothers are doing Seidel things. They look great. I don't hate them. I used to hate Seidel. What is it, Matt, the older Seidel?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't really his biggest fan. He's growing on me a little bit the more I see of him. Yeah, TH2 or TH2, they're doing some break dancing, they're doing some flips, they're doing some weird holes that no one knows how to deal with or how to react to. Standard stuff. SCU are old granddads in the ring having a good time. They have to win. Guess what? SCU pinned some people. So we don't ever find out what would have happened. How boring is that? This was the main event, and if I didn't write notes, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
I would have forgotten it. It was awful. I don't know where they're building to with SCU, and if they will break
lose all tension as soon as you do that gimmick, though. That next time
I knew who was going to win this match, and which is crazy because they're all, in my eyes, all these people in this match are mid carders, and any one of them could have won, and it still have been a good match. But as soon as I knew SCU were involved, I already knew how the match was going, and that was boring, and that was dark, and overall. I have to give it probably a D, if I'm honest, with probably Pretty Avalon and some dark saving the day.
You've got 6 recommends. I'll read them back to you, which is more than I normally do. You've got Eddie versus JD Drake.
That was good.
Yep, fantastic.
You've got Max Caster versus Stunt, just for the rapping and the fingers in mouth, apparently. You've got the Beaver Boys versus Louis Valley and Friend. I didn't get his name down. Beaver Boys being Silver and Reynolds, just so you know, Zach. They're their indie names.
Cool.
They're not slave names.
Nemeth versus Solo for the post-matchy bits.
Yep.
Air Country and the Midnight Express versus Mbadu, Levi, and 2 other people I didn't write down. And Ryzen and Baron Vac versus the Pretty People. Those are your 6 recommends, but otherwise it was shit.
Yeah, that sounds crazy, but this was like a 2-hour and 15-minute episode of Dark, and there was a lot of crap within that. So I do still need to give it a D. There are some diamonds in the mud, as it were, in that one.
Just to give context, Strange, I've just done an add up. That was 6 recommends, most of which were for little segments out of 17 matches.
Yes.
Jesus. Yeah, fair cop. 1/3 was watchable.
From
Not
dirt becomes mud. I think
Yeah.
the saying is.
So hopefully, time to move on to something a little bit more enjoyable. It's time for Dynamite, which is over to me. So we start off as always, JR Excalibur and Shivani on commentary, and Mox versus Zolf Diggler, Ryan Nemeth. Mox wins with the paradigm shift. What did you guys think? I think it's obvious what score this gets.
I'm ready. I've got 4 notes on Mox versus Dom
Cool.
Ziggler.
I've got 3 words.
Standard wrestling match is my opening. Zogler's not bad, but it's mostly Mox. And then it ended. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really care. It was just something that happened on my TV.
It was something to remind you that Mox was strong and that he's losing his next match. That's all it was.
I can't believe they did my boy like this.
They did your boy dirty.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Your
know.
boy was going up against Mox. He was not standing a chance.
Nah, I'm not even on about the wrestling match. I can't believe they did my boy like this. The only notes I have for this match are Hunk has no entrance. How dare they? He is the Hollywood Hunk.
You know it's an F in the
Never.
chats for him. No entrance is a death sentence. Yep.
It is a D-squash, mate.
Then we roll into a promo. I didn't enjoy this one as
It went
much.
very rambly.
Yeah, the promo was longer than the match. The match was like 4 minutes 20, and the promo was like 5 minutes 40. And I wasn't feeling it. I prefer biker Mox to badass Mox. I'll die in the ring.
See, now this one I thought you'd like. This came across to me as old cowboy Mox. I thought this was Mox that you'd like.
No,
I'd
called
be-
what this is.
That's crazy that you saw it like that, because I saw this as Superface Mox, who came out to be the People's Prince. He was like, to all the losers out there, for everyone who's been put down, I'm ready to put it on the line for you. And I was like, oh, he's appealing to school shooters. That's interesting.
So you had Comrade Mox. I had old cowboy Mox.
I had Comrade Mox with Zach.
I'm down with badass Mox. I'm down with Western Mox. I'm down with I'll die in the ring. I'll do a death match. Doesn't need to be 5 minutes, does it?
Yeah, it's interesting because last week I thought he got rambly, and you guys really enjoyed it. This week, yeah. But yeah,
I gave this a D. I'm afraid I got really bored.
Yeah, I got bored of this as well. I gave it a low C because I was just like, whatever, Mox. I know you're losing your next match. You don't need to go on forever about it.
I mean, I gave this a C. I thought it was like the standard Mox thing, and I think Mox is okay at doing those standard things.
To be fair, normally one of the things we have on the show is that there's 4 guys that we state are always B-class promos. I've got to say, this probably is a C, because it did go on a lot longer, and he just could have just cut to the chase. And I think with listening to you guys, I think it's an overall C, though.
Remember a while back when he did that promo where he was sat in a biker bar and like Western music played, and he said some profound things while sipping a whiskey, then it like cut to him walking out with the words echoing over. Brilliant. This dull.
Just needs
We
to
know
be
it's in you,
Deathrider.
Mox. You want a giant injection in your ass again and to wear a gas mask? No.
So,
Nice.
moving on to another promo, we had Fenix and Archer backstage interview. What did you guys think, and did you give it a score?
Rank it was fine. Nice to know what the match is for. Good to see Fenix doing some shit talking, and Lance is just back to beating people up. Right.
Love a bit of Spanglish. Love a bit of Spanglish. That's what I have to
You are the worst tag team partner I've ever had.
say. No, you fighting scenes. Yeah,
No, you
I'll take that.
can't.
Yeah, literally, I'll take that.
It's trap card, no you. Yeah, no, this was solid. Solid C for this. Good build for the match, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing more to add than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a positive. It's all right, Morg.
It's all right.
There we go.
Varsity Blondes versus Starks and Cage. Cage gets the win. Starks and Cage with Hook. What did you guys think of the match, and what score did you give it?
I'm just going to point out that you skipped the Bucks doing nothing with their parents. But
I
I
was-
did write down Bucks nothing happened.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna do the usual thing where we sort of tie that in with the later
Yeah.
one.
Right,
Yeah.
but I do have notes, boys. I've actually got notes.
Well done.
Hooray! My first note was that Ricky can't play his air guitar to Team Taz's awful music on the way out. I felt a bit sad for him. We start with a bit of wrist control and actual wrestling between Starks and Pillman, and they're really good together. But Pillman had a really good escape from a wrist lock. And then they had a really nice bit of high-speed rope running between the two of them. I think Starks and Pillman were the best together in this match. They had a lot of good fun, a lot of good sequences, including a trip and slide out the ring that was
The trip
good.
worked.
Yeah, no,
The
that's
trip
like
worked.
I've seen 4 working trips in like 2 months. I'm pleased to see that. And I love the
Yeah,
fact
good.
Team Taz very rarely bury people. Like, it was a proper good actual back and forth. Griff got a great hot tag, and he now has my favorite over the rope move where he just sort of ran and jumped sideways. Like, there was no tope, no con hero. He just jumped over the top rope at them. I really
Yeah.
do like the drop kick powerbomb finisher. I think that's a really nice, cool one. Bit of a brutal finish. I can't say I was amazed for all of it. But it got really spiced up for the end. So I've got a questionable high C. I had a good time in this match.
Mr.
This
Muir?
was a high C. The thing I love about Team Taz, they're proper indie guys. They'll always make the other guy look fucking ace before they beat them. So I thought this was a solid match. Made Team Taz look good and made the Varsity Bronze look good. So it's a high C for me.
Zach, anything to add? Or just the
we
score?
Come on, Zach.
You forgot another fantastic piece of kit within this wrestling match, which
What did
was
I?
Cage's butt bra. Cage's butt bra. Yeah, people
God,
normally wear
yeah.
the bicep like things around the biceps, like the bands, that might make them look pumped up. He had them round his thighs towards his ass, and it was just making his booty pop, if I'm honest. And whatever you got to do.
Meaty ass.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before. That was hilarious. And that time to get pumped up bit from Ricky Starks to Cage, where he just started pumping. I think it was probably Garrison at that point, and then just destroyed him. Yeah, was good.
Right.
I enjoyed it.
Kills with your opponent. What'd you give it?
I think I'll give it a C, but
Ooh,
that's because I know
cool.
what I'm getting from these guys.
So yeah, it's another high C from me. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I thought Varsity Blondes looked amazing. Me and the Raptor watched this together as always, and yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed this match. They looked really good. I think this is the Varsity Blondes have been really good. This was, and I think it's a credit to Starks and Cage as much as anything else. I think this was the match they looked the best. They looked smooth. Pillman looked the best he's looked, and again, he's always good, but he looked really good in this match. So yeah, I was a C/B.
Good time. This is what they should have opened with, to be completely
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, yeah,
Nice,
completely.
fun.
Yeah, and Chuck Moxley's squash match in afterwards. So yeah, but the reason didn't was because what happens next? Lights Out, Sting and Darby video. We'll do the
Yep.
thing as a whole. Oh, go on if you want to comment on it. Cut in.
I quite like the Guinness video. I'm going to say that before I get critical afterwards. I think it was actually kind of fun. This is the Derby I like. Go back to your
Okay,
talking
you're going to
stuff.
get critical. This is going to get interesting. Sting comes out with the body bag, hooks inside the body bag, then Darby on a zip line. The Raptor
line.
gave this an S.
Oh,
So that's what I'm warning, because Darby on a zip line won this, I think, for her.
I also enjoyed Darby on a zipline. Fantastic. And he came in kicking. I loved it.
I just have one problem with all of these moments, and it's not the fact I've seen them 10,000 times. I thought the Guinness ad pop-up was really great, and I'm not gonna lie, I had fun in this moment. I didn't hate it. Sting had fun, zipline Darby. I quite like Sting vigilanting with the body bag. That's cooler than Darby. always being put in a body bag by his enemies for some reason, even though they do it to nobody else. My problem is this.
Yes.
If, say, you're in your house and every now and then a guy comes to beat you up. Every time he comes to beat you up, the lights go out, it snows, and you have to listen to 30 seconds of music. Wouldn't you just leave in that time?
But they did the first time, and we criticised them for it.
But Matt, wrestling.
If they'd have instantly popped out of the motorbike, fucking car pulling across the floor, trailer for an Antonio Banderas movie, great. If he'd walked out dragging Hook, then I would have been like, yeah. But no, they've got to give us the full fucking Game of Thrones intro. But
yeah.
But I did have a good time. I'm willing to give it a B. Fucking Sting looked like he was having the best time in the world.
Did his Sting a splash?
Yeah.
It's nice when... No, I won't make dark jokes. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the joke I was going to go for, but no.
I'm willing to give it it was made in my house.
Yes, it was
I'm
made
willing to give it a B. I don't think it was an S, but I think the problem is I'm just getting tired of seeing it again and again, and I think they ruined the pacing by having to play Sting's music. I'll know who he is if his theme tune doesn't come on.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone will shout, "It's Sting," even though they should get Gallows to do it once.
Fucking Sting!
Fucking Sting.
The problem is they're trying to Undertaker him, I think. Which is, but when you do it with Taker and the lights go out and the bell rings, that bell ring I think is more iconic than the snow falling down.
I'm gonna say Undertaker's a little bit more famous than Sting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that out there, just a little bit.
And
Swans in Suburban Commando.
And if the snow just fell and we didn't have the stupid Game of Thrones music, if that just started happening and then he enters, quickly, it'd be a lot better for the pacing.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
I don't need to see it every week. And now they're on top before the pay-per-view. At least they were trying to build that they were the underdogs going into it.
No. We've got this week where they'll get beaten down.
My mistake. I forget. I thought, yeah.
Yeah. We've got
with
this
a hard
week.
B, boys.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Quick shout out, obviously, Darby on the zip line was the old Sting entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
Descend on a cable and then get beaten up by
Hogan. So I will point out that last match is a high C -1 air guitar, just for your ranking.
Yeah.
Strange.
Oh, good point. Yep.
Yeah, -1 air guitar. After that, Miro, Kip, and Penelope interview. Thoughts, comments, scores.
As much as I hate this whole segment, I enjoyed him eating the paper. That made me laugh.
Miro was having fun, and it made me have fun. Like you're a grown man, Chuck. You're a grown man, Charles. And then the note comes. Will you fight us a revolution?
Yes,
It
no.
was great. I did enjoy that.
I'm willing to give that I don't think it's good enough to give it a B, even though it probably made me laugh. But I'm willing to C rank it. He just wants Chuck back. He's a really good guy.
Has he fallen in love with Chuck? Is that going to be the story?
I think that is the gimmick. Yeah, that's what's going on.
He must be missing his wife.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I thought Miro was on top form. This is the Miro I've been waiting to see in AEW.
I got you.
This is being a big monster, but also being a little bit dorky as well. So I probably rank this a little bit higher, but I would say a high C rather than just a C.
Yeah, really good on comedy.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Okay, moving.
Zach, we've already converted Zach to a best friend's fan. He's an OC fan.
Moving on, Brandon Cutler versus Hager. Hager wins with a lariat.
I have 5 nines.
I didn't rank this one at all. I didn't even give it a rank. It was a segment to me. But yes, go on. 5 lines.
I went through this. I quite like these two together. Brandon's fighting him like a mini boss. Cutler's really fast. Hager red as a beast. And then it was over.
Hager did do at least 3 moves though, so like we can't. He's probably all gassed out at that point. So
I was annoyed because it looked like they were going to be good together. It's like when Luchasaurus and Hager properly went at each other on the one, but we were like, "Oh, this could be the opponent." And he just ended. I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
Yeah, I
But it
didn't
wasn't just
rank it.
punches.
So
I don't know what this was for. It's
yeah,
for
as I
WCW.
say, so Inner Circle attack Brandon, Bucks for the save, Bucks call out MJF and Jericho, a video of MJF and Jericho with a beat up of Papa Buck. Earlier on, we saw Papa Buck and Mama Buck being shown about.
Boys.
So much
so-
fake blood.
Now, apparently, he wanted to blade for this, and they wouldn't let him.
Oh, boo! He built their kids a fucking ring when they were like 10.
Yeah.
Let him blade.
And Blades.
Yeah,
Give him a bit-
he wanted real colour in this, apparently, so I've
What?
heard. He wanted real colour, but they wouldn't let him. They had to use the fake. They're using the fake
I don't
blood.
think the fake blood was too terrible. There was just too much.
Too much of it. Like, if you had a head wound with that much blood coming out of you, you'd be like, oh shit. He's dead.
I'm gonna go through my notes in order again. Good fake out with the music. I actually enjoyed that. That was quite clever. Oh no, they've completely unexpectedly got their dad. No one saw this coming.
This would have come out.
So much fake blood just smearing down the vans on both books. And I was just like, that's assault, guys. This man isn't a wrestler. Like, I know we forgive wrestlers being this is just assault. I did quite like him driving off like evil schoolboys, though.
Fingers out the window. Yeah. Like you just got in.
So on the AEW list, we have had 2 kidnappings and an assault.
Yeah.
But
Enjoyed it. Fun though. I'd give it a B if I was ranking it as a little moment. The comedy, and knowing that he wanted to blade. What a fucking Chad.
Oh, I'm sad he didn't.
Don't need B tier chatting though. He didn't say he'd do it the hard way. Fucking slam me. Jesus shit, man.
God.
So
you ranking
moving
it,
on
boys?
from something, I'm
He's
with you.
ranked for the scale. I need this power. I've got to do maths with letters.
algebra.
I'm quite happy to go with a B. As I say, I'm going to say a C, but that's ranking the whole thing, including the match, because I didn't rank the match, so I think the whole thing. Well, it's going to average out as a C anyway.
There it is. Oh, cool. I've got some humour about the next section. Introduce us.
So Cody, Shaq, Jade Cargill, and the Red Velvet video package.
Cool.
I only took one thing away from this. And this entire feud is because Cody said he's the Giant Slayer.
Yeah.
And Jade went, but you haven't beaten up this giant man. Is this entire feud just because Jade Cargill doesn't understand metaphor and simile? Like, if he beats Shaq, is she going to be like, well, you haven't beaten this guy. He's 8'2", you know, just wheeling out. No, it's a meta. I don't mean I'm going to kill all giants. I mean, I have beaten us. No, I don't get it.
Haven't
I
killed
also
any of
don't-
these men either.
You know that bit in Lord of the Rings where the Witch King gets killed? It's like, I am no man. She's like, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly that. Perfect logic. They would just get a woman. Yeah, it was all right. It was a catch-up video. I didn't rank it. The A-dubs are good at these things. I just wanted to comment on the fact this is entirely because Jade Cargill's like Dax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, mate.
Is it Dax?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Batista.
Yes. So, moving on from that, Isaiah Cassidy with Matt Hardy and TH2 versus Hangman. Sylvan Reynolds come out to point out that Hardy's interference. Matt is ejected from ringside. Hangman wins with the Deadeye, and then Matt Hardy attacks 5 to show he's a badass. What did you rank this match, guys? What did you think?
I didn't actually rank this, but I believe I enjoyed it very much.
It was a good
I loved it.
match.
Hangman coming out with I made some new friends on his lower
Yes.
third.
Love that.
Then
My first note.
opening with a punch that I'm pretty fucking sure just hit Isaiah Cassidy in the face. That first punch, there was a third that came with it. Not a slap, just a... And Hangman obviously with the 100% hot start. And he felt righteous, but we all know he's the best actor in AEW. I think he may have, in fact, been on some of his moves a little too fast for Isaiah. He came in very hot and very hard. It's like he was empowered by his time in NJP Dub. Then we got the shenanigans and the Beaver Boys, obviously, and we've been waiting to see it. It was great to have them there. Then Isaiah got some heel dominance rolling in for a bit, and it actually made me think he might win. I was like, oh, yeah. Some of the handwork was really good. We had arm on the ropes. We had the catch and drop over the ropes. We had a punch on one of the lariats. Just fucking great. There was the catch where Hangman just caught Isaiah on his shoulders into a Death Valley driver. That was fucking dope. Some really good exchanges in this. And Hangman's added a bunch to his new repertoire. I've not seen him DVD before. He did that sheer drop brainbuster, which looked cool. Isaiah did a Poison Rana, which always pops me. I love them. The springboard clothesline cut into the guillotine over the rope. Cassidy read as though he'd really read up on him and really just fucking was prepared for him.
Yeah.
And as much as I used to shit talk the Deadeye as a finisher, the way he caught him and just sort of had him in one arm made the Deadeye actually look like it had impact and badass. I've really enjoyed talking about this. Is it an A or is it just a B? I'm going to listen to you, boys.
I gave it a B. I think it was a really good, solid match. I loved Cassidy working the arm and then Hangman having to go for something different because he couldn't use the buckshot because he didn't have his arm. I thought it was just really well done. I think it was a solid match. I didn't really write much about this because I was just watching it and enjoying it. So I think it's a high B from me.
So, I think, if we break this down, it's very clearly an A. We've got comedy, we've got story, we've got in-ring story telling how we're going to win the match, why we can't win the match in certain ways. We've got two very good wrestlers in this ring having a great time and enjoying themselves. I think this has to be an A, just hands down. And also I'm biased because this is the storyline that I'm most invested in.
We've got story going in on 8, which is a requirement.
Oh,
I think it's an A.
We're going to have problems now.
Oh, did you not like it, Morg?
No, I thought it was a great match. This was an absolutely fantastic match. The only problem is I also gave it a B.
Oh, shit. I'll put it on the line as a half B, half A, because that's how Letterman works.
Yeah, this was a fantastic match. There was great storytelling. I loved the Dark Order coming out, Matt beating down on... Do you know what? I think I might be talking myself into an A here.
Yeah!
Because we had even more storytelling, the bit with the beating down on 5 as well. Matt setting himself up against the...
fuck's sake, come on.
The Dark Order. No, I'm going to stick with my original rank. I'm going to say it was a B.
Yeah!
That was my original.
Zach, I write down the scores. I've just put an A down.
Yes,
it's all right. I edit.
I'm tweeting right now, but you can't see.
Don't forget, I edit the podcast, so it doesn't really matter. Moving on from
scores are
good. Right. Anyway,
it was a setup all along.
This kept me saying B from earlier on in the podcast.
So, moving on. Kenny Omega promo, backstage building something.
Oh, so good.
Mad Scientist Kenny is now my favourite Kenny.
He was just hitting a piece of metal repeatedly with a hammer. I love it.
He has no idea what he was doing, but fair play to him.
What was that apron he was wearing?
A barbed wire bed, obviously, from his first Mox match.
Yes, but it just looked like he was dressed in like a Mad Scientist outfit. I loved it. Building a Mox killer. Why not?
How does he make landmines? How does he make landmines?
There's a hardcore match with landmines in. That'll be a new level. Shut
So
up,
right, he
Japan.
talked about them. He's like, there will be landmines. We'll get him. We'll get the Mox with the landmines.
I
They-
thoroughly enjoyed this. It wasn't as good as the kids segment from last week, but this was also good.
We're giving it them, boys. What's
what's the rank?
I'll give it a solid B for this.
Yeah.
This made me chuckle.
It was a B.
Yeah.
It was good. It was silly. I loved it. Yeah.
Like we've
B.
got the opposite sides now. We've got two enthusiastic Zach and no enthusiasm Muir. It's a nice balance.
So
I was
next,
enthusiastic about that.
next, Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker, women's tag team tournament. Sorry, women's tournament semi-final. Nyla wins with the Beast Bomb. What did you guys think of the match, and what score did you give it?
I think I'll come in with positivity before Muir gets to it, from what I understand.
I've just got an unhappy face written down on my notes.
But my notes open with Britt looked strong and then Nyla wrecked her. It was all a solid wrecking though. Like I can't criticize any of the actual technique of it. Then Britt went for a walk that I think they probably could have saved for the break.
Yes.
The walk was a bit weird. There was apparently shoulder work on Nyla from Britt, but the commentary didn't sell that till after the actual break, which would have helped me get a bit more into the story. I'm going to give a little weird observation, though, a little bit of a side fact. Do you know how strong you have to be to tear a turnbuckle cover off in one go? Those things are stitched with, like, nylon thread, like about 0.5 centimetre thick. So,
Maybe
you know,
a gimmick one.
Yeah, fair. Some of Nyla Rose's slams were really smooth, and I really quite like the finish of the thrust kick caught into the Beast Bomb as a counter. That looked really good.
That did.
I can't say I loved the match, but I'm not mad about it. It was all right. It was a C. It was there. Like I
It's a
kind of
solid
wanted.
team match.
Yeah, exactly that. Not a criticism. That's my opinion. Go on, lads.
I'd like to add first before we do anything is picture into a normal advert needs to just fucking go away. Please
How are
stop
they meant
that.
to time the ads? That's impossible. That isn't written down somewhere. They can't figure that out, Neil. It's impossible. That's what you're asking is impossible.
It is impossible. I am sorry. Yeah, you're right. There was some bits where Britt couldn't really pick up Nyla that looked a bit awkward, but other than that, it was quite solid. The weird walking away was either walk away or do it during the break, you know. But other than that, yeah, it was just a solid C match. Like, we've seen a lot better in the tournament, but it's not like original AEW women's bad. It was, you know, a solid C.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair.
I guess I just don't care for the booking. I don't really
No,
like having anything
I
negative
don't
to
care
say.
about either of these characters, to be honest. So
Yeah.
it's,
But,
I
but
like
Britt Baker's
Baker.
a dentist.
No,
How
I
should you
actually
not care
enjoy
about
I
that?
actually really enjoy that. I really like her character, and that's why I want to see it progress. I guess I'm just being a bit of a mark, and I'm upset that the person I wanted to win didn't win. So.
be more. I'm guessing they don't want to put Britt over because she's not going to win the belt off Sheedy yet. But I'm also don't want to see Nyla challenge for the belt again because she's already challenged for it. I'd rather see something new. So you know.
I don't know.
Please
Maybe
go down
Ty
to
Conte
one
could
of
have
the
won.
girls.
I don't know.
So on a more positive note, I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, go on, Morg.
Low B, but I still
Okay.
gave it a B. Low B, so it is verging on a C. Yeah, I had a really good time. I thought they worked well together. There was lots of stuff. Yes, there was some weirdness, and yes, going to an ad break in picture-in-picture can get in the bin. I'm still not convinced that that's entirely AEW or whether that's Fight TV doing some weird-ass thing, or whether, because it always happens in that last picture-in-picture, so whether there's some weird thing where an advert always happens there and you lose the picture-in-picture, it's a standard thing, I don't know. Because they'll have the picture-in-picture, and then we'll just get the AEW logo when we watch it on Fight TV with
And
the
it just cuts
music.
straight to it, and like there's no like warning. It's a bing into it. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
so it's a bit of a weird thing. I'm not sure whether that's a Fight TV thing or it's just an issue with the last advert always has to have an advert, whether that's
gosh knows, but
something
it
that's their
always
thing.
kills it a bit for me.
But yeah, that does cause well. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. But yeah, it low B, not a high B or a straight.
I think we're going back. You got your B through over my A earlier, but I think we're getting the C on this one by the sound of it.
I am indeed going for a C.
I'm indeed going for a C. You just drew a sad face. That's all of your notes.
Yeah, like,
Lad.
but you're right. It was like there's the thing. Like I've just said, like when I think about it and try not to be a mark, like it's just I'm not happy with the booking, and I would like to have seen it gone down in a different way. But the actual wrestling that happened wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
I thought this was going to be the setup for Britt to take the belt off Shida, actually, and I was quite shocked by the ending.
Yeah, that belt's from my Yucca.
But I said that belt's going to Japan. I don't know what you guys are on about.
Better go to Japan.
So, FTR and
the next
Jurassic
bit.
Express promo package was all right.
Yeah,
I've got 3 fucking lines on this.
Okay, calm down.
Hull is in a match, guys. I couldn't review the rest of it because I was laughing, and then the last line is just me writing TNA, TNA, TNA over and over again.
When's Hogan coming back?
I don't know what else happened to this promo, but I am very excited, apparently.
One more run with the belt, brother. Get him back in. Get in the Hulk.
I refuse to rank this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see Tully in a ring wrestling Marco.
He can't walk.
Yeah.
He can't walk.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Tully's not in that bad shape, I don't think.
He's not too good at the walking. He's pretty good at standing and roaming about, but he's not got like a good stride on him.
Yeah, he's just got to punch Marco, hopefully for real.
He's a little bit less mobile than Jake.
Yeah.
I am fascinated why this is a thing.
God knows.
He
I
probably...
can't wait for Tully versus Arn.
Oh no, please.
So
On will turn him to sand.
let's move on. Lance Archer versus Fenix. Lance wins with the blackout. What did you guys think, and what score did you give this match?
This is everything I love about wrestling. I'm gonna give my boy Fenix props for the best ever start when Lance was trying to like show how big he was to him, and he just rested his head on his chest.
Yes.
Just so many brutal fucking spots in this. As I've been saying all week, is Fenix okay? At one point he threw Fenix though and just fucking cool shit at the turnbuckle, and Fenix just fucking landed. And there were a couple of awkward spots and stumbles in like the first 5 minutes of this match, I would say. And I think it's just because they were too enthusiastic wrestling each other. Like
They were very excited to wrestle each other.
Yeah,
They?
there were a couple of trips and a couple of moves that didn't go over at the start, but they nailed it all down by the end. It's not enough for me to drop the match. I'd like to point out that Jake the Snake said you can do a con hero over me.
Mate, this was my second favourite spot of the match. Fucking jump over Jake.
If he misses, and Fenix is known for occasionally messing up a jump spot, it would kill Jake the Snake.
Yeah, Jake would just be dead.
Like, he's made of glass at this point, so yeah, just shattered on the floor.
Yeah. At one point, Archer put Fenix onto the barriers and slapped him so hard he fell forwards, which is an amazing thing of physics. And if you want raw... Go on.
There was like a tope or something that Fenix did, I think, or maybe it wasn't. I can't remember what it was, but I remember him landing onto the. He ran just ass first. I was like, he doesn't have a tailbone. His back's dead. He's not getting up. It's all over.
No, mate, he's still fine. You can't stop him. Phoenix took a lariat on the apron, and like to point out, to do an inside-out lariat cell, you essentially have to backflip whilst a man hits you in the face. On the apron, so Phoenix managed to backflip, land on his face on like an 8-inch line of iron with fabric wrapped across.
I think you're forgetting that he has 1,000 fucking lives, boys.
He's got 1,000% fucking cell. He just fucking went. He looks exhausted. And his stomp to Lance's head. He just went up so high, just came down on him. His backflip rolling cutter and Archer was getting up was perfect. The fucking Spanish fly.
The Spanish fly was beautiful.
We had to go back for some fucking chopper, obviously, for the ending where Lance had to lose his fucking shit. I gave it an A. I love fucking everything in this, and I honestly think they might have killed Fenix. If you have criticisms, fight
Mr.
me.
Muir.
The only criticism I had from this was Tony Schiavone trying to say that this was like match of the year during it, because it was a fucking great match, and him going, "Oh, it's match of the year, match of the year." I'm like, but Shingo and Cobb happened this year. Now you're making me think about other matches while I was really enjoying this match. Yeah, it's a solid A from me, but yeah, that was my only criticism of this. I fucking loved it, and that Spanish Fly was fucking ace, and the jump over Jake made me piss.
Zach.
So as a still quite a newcomer to wrestling and not really knowing Lance's like backstory and stuff, I quite often have to go back and watch him throw people into bins and into ceilings to remember that he's actually he's a horrible monster and capable of doing terrible things.
Yes.
This match has helped me forget that I have to go back and watch that every now and then, and now I won't have to. Like now he's earned the he's a badass in my eyes from this match.
Yeah.
So I get to really enjoy him from
And
now
he
on.
hit the blackout.
Yeah, and he hit the blackout, which I never get to see. I'm always like, what happens after they put them on the back? Like, what happens next? But now I know. Yeah, it was. You've said it. You said enough. Like, this was a fantastic match.
What's your score?
I have to give it an A. It can't be anything else.
So a while ago, I had a bit of a rant about Lance Archer and how I wasn't. Yeah, and how I was. I fucking loved this match. This was class. This was. As much as you said about Schiavone, I've got to say this is not far off, and I appreciate we're only in February, but I think it's probably the best match of the year for two guys.
For AEW.
For AEW, sorry, yes, that's where I was going.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
where I was going. For AEW, I lost my thread there. I really enjoyed this. I'm really liking Lance now. And it's the one. What's the one thing that I have been saying I want in AEW for ages? A proper badass monster face.
I
And
can't wait
Lance is.
until Maki Ito comes and turns him back to the dark side. That's all I'm saying.
They are our best friends on Twitter.
Yes, mate.
I don't think she's going to be able to be a heel in AEW. I think she's going to be She's going to be just a badass face. I think it could be very difficult to not be over with us. This match was phenomenal. It had Fenix, who I absolutely adore and have done for ages. I missed it. I did work out what his brand new spot was in this. Oh yeah, it was leaping over Jake Roberts. That was his. Fenix does something new in a match. Leaping over a veteran. That's your new thing. Yeah, this was phenomenal, and yes, I also gave it an A. A's across the board.
Yeah, wicked.
So,
Loved it.
all in all, Mr. Strange, time for you to do, through the power of science and maths, what score did we give Dynamite?
Right, well, we've got 2 Ds, 5 Cs, 3 Bs, and 3 As. So I think it's a B. I think overall we're a lot of. I don't think the downs outweighed the fucking great stuff we had.
I'd like to say that this was such a filler card, and they pulled out the part for what the card was on paper. Me looking at this was like, this ain't going to be a good show, and they really did pull out the part for what they had.
100%.
I think also
really
you've got to also remember that those 2 Ds were both D squashes.
Oh yeah.
Or 2 of those Ds were D squashes, so they weren't even necessarily a bad match. They're just. So it's a B. It's a B minus 1 air guitar.
Minus 1 air guitar and plus 1 hold up CW.
One jump over Jake Roberts. Come
on. Oh, that's true.
Over Jake Roberts. If he does, like
that might be plus 1 ECW. There you have it. That's our review of the week. Dynamite again being consistently a B-rank show, consistently good, which is, I think, the important thing is that your main show is always good. What did you think of the show? Let us know. You can contact us on wrestleopinionated@gmail.com or WrestleOP on Facebook, WrestleOP1 on Twitter. You can give us something to rant about. We haven't been angry about anything for a while. You could just send us your thoughts, or you could send us a match you'd like us to watch and review. And as we are continuing our stint of reviewing matches that are our favourites, a while ago we picked, I think it's 9 weeks ago, we picked 5 matches each, myself, Strange and Muir, that we considered to be some of our all-time favourite matches. This week we moved it was one of Mr. Strange's picks.
Yeah.
It was Mayu versus Mayu versus Kagetsu from Stardom. Unfortunately, this one we couldn't get a link for to put up on Facebook for you to watch, so you'll just have to go and get a Stardom account and give them some money. As always, Mr. Strange, are you going to lead on the play-by-play?
I will introduce this match first of all. So the build-up to this match is Kagetsu has the belt Mayu used to hold. It's her second title defense as Kagetsu. Mayu has already been beaten by Kagetsu previously, and she is rising back as the returning injured babyface goblin. And she's coming back to overcome her enemy. She gives a promo beforehand. Kagetsu also gives a promo where she assures it will be a clean fight with no cheating. And she will fight with
an honorable wrestler.
Which she does before every single match she's in. And then we get into the match.
I'd also like to say it's for the red belt, which is their top title, just so people know. Yeah.
Kagetsu comes out to her absolute banger of a theme song, which brings me joy, looking like the anime villain she is. And she wears being the villain of Stardom on her face. At this point, she's running Oedo. They're walking in, they're taking over fights, they're having dance scenes, and just basically ruling the show like a group of anime villains, basically. We get to the match. We start with a little grapple, we warm up slowly, and we do in fact get our first slow pace break, like pretty much instantly. It does lead to a hanging, which you don't get to see in many matches. And then wrestling's longest ever for stair roll as
oh, poor Mayu, her back. Fucking back.
And it leads with Kagetsu mostly being in charge, and her body language is showing this. Then Mayu starts to come back. We get some limb work from both of them. We get some chokes. We get some taunting. And we sort of then get Mayu's first proper comeback when she kicks Kagetsu so hard in the chest when she's on the bottom rope. Like, she just fucking hoofs her. into a series of great strikes and dodges, and the comeback's going well, and then Kagetsu's Dark Soul music intensifies.
So this fight starts.
Yeah, phase 2 of the fight begins, and Kagetsu starts fucking taking it, and the two of them work so well together. They're great at dodging. All of Kagetsu's slams, Mayu is up there and down, just everything is smooth and tight. And they've got good pacing. They have scenes where they lie down, but they're not lying down too long, they get back up. Then, Mayu's Dark Souls music intensifies as well. She comes back, she's losing her temper. This is the righteous fucking time of Mayu Iwatani taking her title back. They just had a scene where they were just stood there punching each other in the face. Mayu hit her crucifix bomb, which is probably the best fucking one in the business. And then Kagetsu enters stage 3 of the boss fight. She does this choke slam on Mayu where she holds her for so long and goes through like a full 180 spin. It's fucking immense. And she's just screaming in rage because that's... Kagetsu goes from, I'm here to fuck about with you, to, or I'll give you seriously, to how dare you fight me, basically. And you get that.
Challenge me,
yeah. You get the full character of that. And she, the Crucifix Death Valley driver bomb into the 450 finisher. And the 450 is Kagetsu's finisher. And she's already put one into Mayu. And Mayu's kicked out because she's made of that stuff dolls are made out of, as Zach put it. I fucking love this. It is a brawl. If I had criticisms, I'd say that the hanging spot could have been done a little faster and later in the match, but it's got everything. Mayu is just phenomenal. She can fly around, and she's got power moves. Kagetsu just cheats instantly, has the mist. Mayu's got a great dodge on it. And then we get a post-match promo where Kagetsu just shit-talks her opponent. which is wonderful. I love the proper villain of this. Sorry,
You've
go on.
got to discuss this post-match promo better, mate. What she says is like, I will be winning my side of the tournament that's coming
If you
up.
dare, if you want another fucking pop, come at me.
Yeah, you win your side, and then we'll have a fight for it. So
All of
Mayo
her
goes-
promos. Sorry,
And then
go
Mayo's
on.
like, well, I'll win it. That gives me an automatic challenge at the belt again, doesn't it? Because she's a, kooky face. It's just perfect. It's great.
And I love the fact all of Kagetsu's promos are always come and get me. It's never you're over. It's your shit. I bet you can't get me again. But
Yes.
sorry, go back.
No, it's on the hanging spot. Yeah, it is a bit slow, but then it's also a hanging. So I kind of want it done safely, So I get where you're coming from, but yeah.
Meant more
this
than
is-
walk up the stairs, not than the actual hanging. I forgive that. It's a hanging.
In a world where I've watched people very recently in WWE them fail to handcuff and unhandcuff a guy to a piece of metal, watching someone hang someone from not a small drop and drop them
Yes.
whilst live with like people in attendance, I this is top tier. It's always going to be top tier. Like they pulled it off. No one's dead,
Yep.
and it's a fantastic match. Yeah. Like that's what I have to say on that. It was fantastic.
So
This comes off like a year of Mayu being bullied by Kagetsu as well. Like they pushed the stage onto her, they've hung her multiple times. This was her revenge match of her coming back to win her belt, and she just gets fucking annihilated in it.
So this was
Go on,
my second introduction to Stardom. I'm gonna unfortunately have to give it the same criticism I've given last week's match and the last Stardom match, and this one I think more so than the first one with the high speed belt, because it was very easy to pick up what was going on. That no commentary really does affect it for me. So I don't know the story or where it's coming from, the story in the ring. I knew immediately who Kagetsu was. And had you not been going on about her for the last ages, and you just said there was this Japanese Joshi that you really liked, her attitude, I'd be like, that's Strange's favourite Japanese Joshi. I can
so
just tell.
Cool.
Overall, the match was good. It was a little slow for me at the beginning, and I think that's where you're saying about taking the time with the hanging spot. I loved Mayu rolling all the way down the stairs, all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, it was just. There was some chair bowling in this, if I remember correctly.
There was,
Yeah.
They had to get people out of the chairs.
There was chair bowling, and there's always a bonus for chair bowling. Didn't bite. The Raptor didn't bite on it as much. Unfortunately, she didn't get into it as much, but yeah, I did enjoy the match, and I want to see more stuff from both of these. So I'm going to have to.
From Mayu. Kagetsu was retired to a life of being a lesbian with her sexy girlfriend somewhere hidden in Japan, because they hate that sort of thing.
But yes, but there are matches. She has had matches previously that I can go back and watch. But yeah,
so many.
Overall, yeah, I guess I get why you're so into and why you enjoyed this match. Are any more comments, or shall I roll the dice and we see what we're reviewing next week?
No, I think I could froth about Kagetsu for ages. I love the Prime Minister of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Go on,
Okay.
roll the dice.
Rolling the
What's next?
dice. Oh,
It's got to be one of yours, surely.
oh, it is.
Is it Phil?
No.
Oh, thank
Oh.
God.
We are moving away from AEW. We are
Okay.
moving away from WWE. We are moving
Oh,
away
no.
from Stardom.
I
We
know
are
where we're
moving to TNA.
Oh God.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're moving away from Lucha Underground. We're going to TNA. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe. X Division match for the X Division Championship.
Cool.
I made the Raptor watch this a New Year when I introduced her to a load of wrestling matches she should see. I have a feeling she might want to watch this match again when I sit down and rewatch it. This is a really, really good match. And Christopher Daniels and Samoa Joe.
They're all really good, but only AJ brings the power of God to the match. Actually, they probably all do, but not as powerfully as anyone does.
So yes, that'll be next week's match. I believe this one's on YouTube as well, so I can pop a link into the Facebook. There'll be a link in the Facebook. Probably going up tonight. I want to say thank you very much to Anchor.fm for hosting the podcast. You want to find us, we're Wrestleopinionated on YouTube, Spotify and Anchor.fm. Thank you, Zach, for coming and enjoying the show, joining us on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. I'm sure
Dark.
I'm sure we'll be seeing and hearing more from you as the weeks go. Over to you, Mr. Muir.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for enjoying a blessed Mayo match. May all your Mayos be strong. And if you want to send anything in to us, send it into wrestleopinionated@gmail.com, WrestleOP on Facebook, and WrestleOP1 on Twitter. Over to you, Strange.
Please like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell thing if you're on YouTube. Write a comment. Apparently that also helps. I don't know. Yeah, cheers for listening. Whatever medium you're choosing to listen to this on, please click the little I like that buttons. It does help us. We're hoping to get our 15th listener at some point. Thank you to Zach for listening to the show. Cheers. Back to you, Morg.
So all that's left to be said is goodbye and good night.